Last night I had a show. We was talking about the Kevin Garnett $100,000 a month divorce settlement or child support and alimony settlement. And I had a caller that called in to the show named Jane. And you guys know who Jane is. She likes to talk a whole lot. I believe she's from the Chicago area. And we were kind of going back and forth about this divorce settlement situation. She was talking a little bit more than I was, but it was no problem. And she says something that I agree. Now, there's some things I disagree with, but the one thing that she did say I did agree with is for a lot of guys, having a fantasy woman comes at a high price. This stuck with me. We got to kind of go back, right? Some of y'all who are athletes and maybe didn't go as far as you wanted. One of the motivating factors for athletes, black male business owners, black males in professional school, one of the situations that we are really motivated by is the fantasy chick. Now, y'all not going to admit it, okay? But what keeps you going in the middle of the night, what keeps you going studying at night, what keeps you going for the business is because eventually you want to be able to take those vacations to Brazil. Eventually, you want to be able to have those model chicks. Eventually, you want to be able to achieve those chicks that you've never been able to get before. Let's just be honest, that's what it is. Eventually, that is the goal. And you would be lying to me unless you're heterosexual and you say that's not you, then this is definitely you. Everybody wants this fantasy chick. Typically, what does she look like? Big booty, mulatto, sometimes mixed, Kim Kardashian lookalike, a la carte, Reggie Bush, and whoever else, Kanye, Amber Rose. That's a fantasy chick. And she looks good. Really good. And the second thing is, she makes you look good. Especially if you ugly. Example, O'Shea, okay? Me having a fantasy chick makes me look very good because it's like, damn. Ugly nigga must be somebody. He with her. People give you props for having a fantasy chick. I.e. Kevin Garnett. It gives you status. But do you know what a lot of young guys with money and a lot of guys that are black guys don't think about? What is your home life going to be about? And see, this is where black men get it all wrong. Let me tell you what my brother told me. My brother told me one thing that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. He said, listen, she might look good. She might be good in bed. But boy, if she can't keep the house up, you in trouble. I said, what do you really mean when you say that? He said, I'm going to tell you. He said, boy, let me tell you something. I done had women all over the country. Was fine and had a big body. But they can't keep no house. House be dirty. Can't cook, can't clean. Don't want to be in the house when I get home. Don't want to balance the bills and all of these things. See, you need a woman who wants to do all of that. Now, BGS talks about adjustable 7. We talked about that a few years ago. Let me combine BGS's adjustable 7, my brother's comments, into something that we're all going to find out today. Being a fantasy chick is not a housewife. We have to make a very clear commentary about that. Fantasy chicks are not housewives. Fantasy chicks are good eye candy. Fantasy chicks are good in bed. Fantasy chicks are good to take on trips. They're good to trick on. That's about it. Because, see, a fantasy chick doesn't want to be in the house cooking and cleaning. You know who are the best housewives? The ones that do the best in relationships like that? Subpar to average looking women. At best, you might get an adjustable 7. At best. Now, let me go back to you brothers out there who are just getting some money, who are just experiencing some things. It's guys like Kevin Garnett. You don't require anything else out of the chick except for the fact that she look extremely good. Okay? This is a lot of things you don't learn until you get older. When you get my age, 38, 39, 40, going to your middle age years, you start getting tired of dealing with chicks, who just young and just look good. Because for the most part, they look good. You can still mess with them. But they really can't do a whole lot. All right? Really, they can't cook and don't want to cook. Unless you go into other countries, the Dominican Republic or Colombia, where a lot of women look good in comparisons to America. But you know who's always winning and getting married? I'll tell you. Subpar, overweight, and other women. Looking women. They get married a lot of times more often than fantasy chicks. Because fantasy chicks really are supposed to just get tricked on. That's the real thing. But the woman who's supposed to make your home life better typically is not going to be the best looking woman. Like Robert Smith. He marries this lady, for the most part, that's just beautiful. Now, he has all kind of money. He don't need a housewife, right? But if you think about it, successful guys that you really know, that I've known, guys who got a lot of money, very rarely do you see them marry like supermodel kind of chicks. In my experiences, supermodel chicks are the ones they have on the side. These are the ones they go to the strip club with, or these are the ones they'll be on vacations with. These kind of chicks get cheated on. They're the extra side woman. They're the ones that break up marriages or make a threat. But the wife woman that he's with for a long time, she consistently is doing things. Cooking. Making sure the house is ran right. Making sure the kids is taken care of. Okay? Making sure that she's, somewhat loyal. These fantasy chicks don't have those attributes. So a lot of guys talking about, I want to work hard and get this money and get me a super bad chick. How's that going to work out? A lot of guys with money got to start thinking about this. If the woman can't do all the other stuff because you're going to get tired of humping on her, you got to be getting tired of humping. That's going to get old. It's going to get old after the first 2 or 3 months. When she's sitting there all day in the bed with you, ain't doing nothing, you going to want her to go. And that's how a lot of brothers is getting messed up. Sometimes fantasy chicks, a lot of times in my opinion, those women that are groupies, they're not in the same morality as certain guys with businesses and homes and stuff like that. They don't mess with anybody, okay? And when you start doing that, you're unequally yoked with these people. So there's no way you can have a functional relationship, because while you're a business-minded kind of guy or whatever, she can mess with anybody because she don't know what it takes to get there. How? She's a slay queen or something like that. And if you didn't have that money, she wouldn't be messing with you. So a lot of guys are getting caught up with these fantasy girls because without that money, you would never mess with her. But I'm telling you, the women who are the housewives, they're not that great looking. Average at best. And guys know that, okay? Let me just go ahead on, get somebody something consistent in-house. If I'm going to deal with somebody, then on the side, I can go to Brazil, I can go to DR, I can get a fantasy chick over there. Come back home to my wife, and I'm all good. I can go to Colombia, pay about $50, do my little fence thing, come on back. Now, guys, just wanted to put that out there. I appreciate all that you brothers is doing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the Patreon link. Subscribe to us on Patreon. $5 a month. Support Black Male Media. I'm going to upload some videos from LAR Movement today up there. And, really, really thank you for everything you guys are doing. Like the video, subscribe. What do you guys think about the fantasy chick situation? This ever happened to you before? As you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.